Right, good morning, traders. So make sure we're running on every place. Uh, hmm. Give me just a second, guys. Having some issues on this other streaming platform. Let me get this worked out. Where's it at? Where's... there we go. All right. There we go. So, welcome, traders. Good morning. How is everybody doing today? I see everybody's probably over in house chat at the moment. It's got all the attention. But anyway, let's get going here. So the SPY rebounded very strong yesterday after the Fed's announcement. Went all the way up to 475. It's actually a new high on the SPY, but because it was in pre-market, it's not going to show up on the daily chart if you don't have the pre-market separated. As you see the SPY dumping off from here, there's some support at this 470 that it's trying to hold at the moment. Let's see what we got here as far as gainers. So CALT, this is one that Hal found this morning. And if you've been watching over on Hal's channel, H&H Trader, I'm sure he's probably been traded, or at least trying. Well, he might have not took a position yet. But this stock, very low float, 26 million shares outstanding, so the float's probably around 24. They have FDA approval news today. And then, let's see, that's a buyback, it looks like. Yeah. So the FDA approval did bring in a lot of hype in after hours before selling off. So this 25 is support. You can especially see it on the 1 hour chart. But on the daily chart, we've got a 200 moving average at 24. So there's quite a bit of support below us. Now, because it's the first time in a while we've been up at this price range, this support may not hold. Because we're at the tip of this wedge of consolidation, and it looks like it may be cracking through here possibly soon. So BFRI still on its uptrend on the daily chart. Hit again at the top of that resistance line. Still looks a little too early for it to pop today. Might be tomorrow, which would be Friday. I don't know. It's one to keep an eye on. Let's see, what is this? Snacks. What we got here? That's an interesting pattern. So they scored a Costco and Walmart distribution type of deal. This thing was super bearish, way down here. Hit a low yesterday. It is very low float, but I don't like where these EMAs are at. I don't like exactly where this thing is at. But that is good news for them. Keep it on watch. It could be, you know, the name snacks and they're some type of grocery food, like a snack thing, I guess. It could get some like Wall Street bets hype or something stupid like that, possibly. Who knows? Let's see. 417. It does need to break 425, but like I said, let's see. A 50-day is right around that area. CALT still holding that 25. Good morning, Michelle. How are you this morning? Then PTPI. No news today. This thing has been a wild mover. I do like the daily chart. 10-day just crossing over that. 350. Yeah, break of 350, which we have a very nice U shape right here going on. This thing could start going. Could go up to 4. How big was this candle? 289 up to 350. See, CLT. Okay. I'm going to keep an eye on CALT here as it's in the tip of this triangle. Because this is the best news I've seen so far. Let me go in the 5-minute and then go on to the 15-minute. BCTX. Some insider's intention to purchase. Well, I mean, what if this guy changes his mind? And that's garbage PR. I don't really care about somebody's what their intentions are. I only care about what they're actually going to do. You know, like why would you invest in a company because somebody else might be investing in it who's on the inside? So that's not really good PR at all on BCTX. And it's kind of looking like a head and shoulders pattern. Here's the head, shoulder right here at this 875 resistance, and we're already making the other shoulder. So we'll probably see an arm down just like we saw that bar up. So I'm not liking that. CALT, if it can hold here, let's see, we got 6 minutes on this 15-minute candle. And what I'm waiting on is for this 15-minute candle to close and see if we get any green candle pushing up above. Well, that's not good looking. More these upper wicks is signaling a lot of selling pressure, and I was wanting to see that slow down and start to get a trend reversal, but this 5-minute candle getting hit there a little bit. So it may have to pull back. It may not be able to hold this consolidation. Which if it does pull back, 50-day on the 15-minute is at that 24.64 area. And then at 22 we should have some pretty decent support from this previous peak. Okay, that's nice looking right there. I may get ready to hop in this thing. Can you guys hear me over here in Share Vision? Just let me know in the chat. Make sure you can hear me and see me good, everything like that. So that way we don't have any issues. And then same thing on YouTube, which it seems like we're good on YouTube. I'm going to hop in here. It's starting to test this 24.50 area, or 25.50 area. I got it at 25.44. It's got to break. Well, basically, we want to see it break 26. So we're testing the top of the downtrend. Just going light shares because yesterday was wild, and the SPY is downtrending right now, so we are fighting against the downtrend. Looked like it was going to crack, but as soon as it held up 25 there, anything else doing anything? No, nothing there. Nothing there. VXX going up because the SPY's dropping. Nothing, nothing, nothing. That still possible play on snacks. BCTX trying to still making that shoulder. You gotta wait and see that shoulder hold up. Snacks is coming up to its resistance here. Looking like a possible breakout soon. I'm gonna hop in here on this bullish candle. See if it breaks 425. It's testing it right now. Pull back there. What I get? 418. Okay. These are the only two that I'm seeing that look like. I'm gonna take BMRA off. That thing looks like garbage. So still again, we got another pop up there on CALT, but pushed right back down again. So that's a little sketchy. We got 2 more minutes for this 15-minute candle to close. Really want to see it push back green. Just going to put a stop loss in for now. Actually, I'm putting just a little tad bit lower. I don't want to yank down and get me. So I've had that happen a lot lately, where they will yank down real quick just to get me. So we're still getting some pressure there. Yeah, there goes the crack. So I should have waited for that 15-minute candle to close. But it was looking like it was going to try to push. Now it's giving up. But this is actually fine. If it's going to pull back, if it can get down to that 22 area, then I might look for another entry on it to look for a bounce. But just cracking down out of that consolidation, fighting against this uptrend on the SPY. That's why I didn't want to take very many shares on it. And I put that stop loss in right away. Cracking that 50-day there. Yeah, I'd say we're probably going to come back down to 22. What's up, Mike B? How's it going, buddy? Now, snacks hasn't cracked yet. Let's see. 418, 394. Yeah, CALT down to 24. Now, that's actually looks like that's, well, yeah, testing 24 support. Living the beach life. That's what's up, buddy. Living the beach life on a budget. Hey, man, whatever you got to do. SPY's trying to hold 470. See, the big players still red. Apple, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Nvidia, a lot of red throughout there. Yeah, I'm just putting a stop loss right under 4 at the moment while this is still consolidating. Let's see, CALT still hasn't dropped below 24 yet. There's nothing on the scanner showing up. Let me change my scanner out real quick. See if anything shows up on the other scanner any different. Nope. Snacks is close to cracking. We may have another nasty morning here. That's what it's looking like. Maybe the market rebounds later. Now the cryptos and everything else did rebound. Gold, silver, all of that had a small rebound as well. Yeah, there's a lot of platforms that offer margin trading for cryptos, but just like I'm against margin, just like I'm against margin trading for stocks, I'm the same way with cryptos because you're using somebody else's money. And the way that it's set up, if you're to lose more money that's in your account on margin, you're going to have to pay that out of pocket. And there's just been so many horror stories because some of these crypto platforms will give you like 100x margin, which is insanely stupid. So, like if you got $1,000 in your account and you got 100x margin, that means you can trade with $100,000. A lot of, well, I'm not gonna say a lot, but there's new traders that'll come in and see that and think that they have no repercussions for trading with that $100,000. But a 10-cent move on like 10,000 shares. So yeah, a 10-cent move on 10,000 shares of or 10,000 coins of something. Well, that if it went to the downside, that would be $1,000. So just one 10-cent move to the downside could blow up your whole $1,000 account with a 100x margin. And if it goes even lower than 10 cents, if it was to say to drop under $1, So say that's $1 per 10,000 or $1 per share at 10,000. That's 10 grand, and if you only had 1,000 in your account, well, your 1,000 is going to get wiped out, and then you're going to owe the brokerage 9 grand, and that's just too risky to me. Good morning, Lori Lee. You can only lose what you put in. That's not how most margin accounts work. What platform are you talking about specifically? And I can take a look at it, and we'll see if they're legitimate or not. Because that sounds kind of wild. Good morning, Donnell. How's it going, bud? So we are starting to push back up a little bit here. I think I'm thinking about adding maybe. Oh, Bybit. Well, leverage just means that you're using somebody else's money, basically. You know, you're leveraging the broker's money to trade with. So that's all it means by saying leverage. Whether that counts margin or, I mean, it's got to be. Maybe because it's crypto, it's not. Maybe they don't call it a margin account or something, but it's essentially what it is, regardless. Yeah, let's see. What am I gonna add here? I'm gonna add 30 more shares. I'm going for. Yeah, let's add 30 more. Let's see if we get this break over 425 this time. Are starting to push up towards it. CALT still holding that 24 area. Now we got strong resistance at 450. So if we do start to break up here, we're going to run right into 450. What we'd like to see is buyers just come flooding in at the breakout here and shoot it right through 450, because then we're also going to have a lot of resistance at 5. Normally this close to 5, I don't usually like to trade them, but this does have some potential to start going. And it's very low float. There's only 8 million shares outstanding. CALT starting to push back up. Okay, so the 15-minute has got to break back above 24.50. If CLT does not break above and hold this 24.50, it's going to come down some more. But with that FDA approval, I wouldn't be surprised to see it build support there. Good morning, Donnell. You're watching Snacks. I am in Snacks. That's an appropriate trade for me, being in Snacks. I love snacks. It's a stock T. Just the ticker symbol T. Oh yeah. What's going on with that? That's not on my list anywhere. Oh, 7 billion shares in the float. So 7 billion is a lot. Right. This thing has moved, but it's moved the range of where it's moved at 22.60 up to 23.50. That's only $1 move. It is bullish though. This looks like it's consolidating, getting ready for another push up. Oh, it's AT&T. Yeah, so yeah, well, I don't know, Lori. I did see it had some PR. I gotta switch back to this just for a second, make sure this is gonna hold up. But yeah, if you like a slower play, AT&T. Oh yeah, they declared a dividend as well. That's the news. Okay. Okay, AT&T, I see you. Yeah, so there definitely could be some decent buying that keeps coming in here. I mean, it being AT&T and them announcing a dividend, that's going to spur big investor attention and institutions because it's pretty cheap. So at 23.50, institutions can load up on that quite a bit and get that nice fat dividend payment every month. But you're more than likely not going to get like a $10 rip out of that. Like you may be able to get another dollar or two, but with that big of a float, billions in the float, you're going to have a hard time pushing that up. It's going to need a lot of buying volume. All right, Snacks, you've been consolidating forever. Let's do something here. SPY has started coming back up, so we may be starting an uptrend, which means we should start seeing some buy-in come back in across a lot of these plays. And again, if anybody over on Share Vision, if you can, whoops, I just ended my live stream over there. Well, that was stupid. Why does it do that? Okay, good. Yeah, we are getting some buy-in, pushing it up back to that 425 area right now. Looks like we're going to get this 425 test in just a second. See, is it working here on the 422? Yeah, that's not one to work. So bouncing off that area back down to the 4, we got to break soon. If it does not break soon to the upside, it's going to crack. All right, there we go. So right here, see how we're kind of sliding off of the trend line? Well, let me draw the trend line a little bit better. we go. Ugh, man, this is gonna be sketchy. Actually, we don't even need a break of 425. We just need 415 to hold as support. On the 15-minute chart, not one candle has closed and held above 415. And we got 13 minutes left on this candle, so quite a bit of time. Now, if we push up here over 425, this is a bullish engulfing candle. The body of this green candle is engulfing the whole body of this red candle, or was. It's not now anymore. But that's kind of how we want to see it close, as this bullish engulfing, like just like that. And sorry for everybody on Share Vision, I lost you there for a second. Still getting used to the platform. And I keep getting a message that says that my audio is not working on that platform. So you guys on Share Vision, just let me know in the comments, because I'm not seeing any comments either. So we'll make sure that you guys can hear me loud and clear and everything's clear and we're not having any issues. Alright. What's up, Lightning Rick? How's it going, buddy? Back might be, I know I kind of trailed off there on Bybit. Bybit, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Bybit reached out to me a while back about some stuff, some type of sponsorship opportunity. I think it was Bybit. Let me check. I'm going to keep an eye on this stock, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to recheck on here. Yeah. Yeah, it was Bybit. What was it I did not like about Bybit? But yeah, just so you guys know I'm not full of trash, you can see right there, Benjamin and Bybit partnership discussion. So, for some reason, I can't remember what it was, but there's some reason I don't like Bybit. When it comes to crypto platforms, and of course, this is probably part of it. They wanted to partner with me, but you can't even use Bybit in the U.S. So that's like one problem I had with it, but that wasn't the one thing that like bothered me. Do they have an advanced? We're still struggling here. Struggling to break this 415. Yeah, and AT&T still slowly climbing up. So this is what I was talking about on AT&T. You're probably not going to get any major rips, but it could be a climber all day long. Yeah, CALT selling off. See, it never got back over that 50-day on the 15-minute channel, or 15-minute chart. That blue 50-day moving average shot back up to it twice, rejected, And now if we crack below 2372, which is this bottom wick, then this is going to pull back even more, like 22, possibly 21. Hey, Joe Mac, no problem, buddy. You know, I'm glad you're learning a lot. Even when I lose, there's something to learn from the stupidness that I make. It's always better to let me pay for your hard-earned lesson than you have to pay for the hard-earned lesson. So that's good when you can learn from these live streams like this. Daniel B. Daniel B. Daniel B. Just don't you get me fired up today, boy. You know what'll happen. But back to my B, man. I just, if it's not Coinbase or, well, what are you trying to do with it? Let me ask you that. Are you looking at Bybit just for exclusively day trading cryptos? This looks like this may crack too here. Gotta hold 4. I'm gonna adjust this trend line just a little bit. If we drop 10-day is at 395. I don't like this candle followed by what's starting to look very bearish as a candle. Yeah, now we're testing 4. Cracked 4. May start dumping here if it can't hold up. Seeing bits stack at 398 and 399, but not 4. We need to see this. We need to see bid stacking on 4. See 4 on the ask. There we go. Oh, nope. 4. See, that keeps popping up on the ask. That's resistance. We do not want this support line to turn into resistance. That is going to lead to a drop. Still having buyers coming at 3. There we go. Okay. Now, everybody, this is still sketchy, though. 4 needs to be holding solid. I really did not like that push down through there. Not seeing much else going on, though. PRPL. That's higher float. I don't like that either. Invax. Higher cost. Yeah, this is looking bearish. I'm about to probably get out. It's got a rebound right on this candle. There's like no. We cannot piddle around $4. There's some decent buyers starting to come back in. 10,000 shares at 402, 18,000 shares at 402. Ooh, and that big buyer is getting taken out. Uh, we had a quick little crack through 4 again. Is it 9:30 when this started breaking down? Oh, and then 9:30, that's when the SPY started breaking down right here. Yeah, until the SPY is uptrending during the day, which yesterday the uptrend was the afternoon, which we saw a lot of hotness, but right now we're just downtrending on the SPY again. So like we've seen all week, if we're fighting these downtrends, support lines are not holding as well and resistance lines are holding very strong. As long as that's happening, it's really difficult to call these plays. Nice, Joe Mac. No, I'm glad you made some money, buddy. I hope you continue to make some money. Just like I say, always make your own decisions, though. Don't follow my trades and do what I do. Make your own decisions. Because so far this week, well, the first 2 days of this week, I basically just broke even. And then yesterday, I had a red day, $100 loss. And it looks like today I'm probably going to have about a $50 loss. Because it's just barely hanging on. I'm about to cut this loss. Yeah, I'm still trying to hold that $4 area. Yeah, I kind of agree with One Life and Daniel B on that, Lori. GameStop, just because of the shenanigans this year that's been in GameStop, those shenanigans could resume at any time. Maybe they don't, maybe they do. But GameStop also, before they raised all that money, they were going out of business, same as AMC. They were trash companies. Like GameStop has not been able to keep up with the sales of direct video game sales on the platforms. Like if you can just buy, yeah, I'm about to get out of this. I'm out. And just get out there, starting to crack that area. The SPY pulling back some more? No, SPY just going sideways. But I'm not going to sit here and hold. This thing looks that bearish. But like with GameStop right now, what are they doing that's going to compete with the platform ability to buy and download games right there on the platform? You don't have to go. Are you serious? You don't have to go to anywhere. You can just be at home and buy your games. So even though this little wick down there looked like it was about to dump, it just all of a sudden popped back up there, back over 4. Still could dump, but it's trying to hold. I'm just going to go ahead and remove this bottom line because we don't need that. But it's trying to hold this 396 area on top of the 10-day moving average. Got me with that little wick, through that wick, right under both of those two candles. This is starting to push back up. I don't know. This could turn around and still drop though. CALT, nothing there. That thing is slowed down. No, no volume on PRPL at the moment. It's just white doji stars across the top there. Very low volume. Yeah, so nothing else popping up. The only play that still looks like a possible play, well, besides AT&T, I mean, AT&T like is an actual legitimate company. But besides that, I don't see anything but maybe possibly snacks. So I think, well, depending on how the SPY closes today, we could see another leg up on the SPY, which could lead to some bigger moves. So I think tomorrow, with it being Friday, we're probably going to see a slow day once again, and then next week should be a hot week because I'd imagine if the SPY closes somewhere in the 465 to 475 area tomorrow, that would give investors the confidence they need to really come back into the stock market, and we could see it push next week. But the way it's looking today, it's so hard to say because after that Fed meeting announcement yesterday, the thing just shot up all day to 472. I mean, that's a big candle for the SPY. To go 460 back up to 470, a $10 move down and up in one day, that's crazy volatility. CRTX. Oops. Yeah, see now, snacks is downtrending. It looks like it's going to go down. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. CRTX, where you at? Yeah, CRTX does have a nice little uptrend. Well, yes, low float. This is the one I think. Was this the one I was talking about yesterday that had that big gap to fill, or is this a different gap to fill? It certainly has room up to 26, 28. But that type of move is a ways away because it'll have to break the top of that candle there, which is basically 2025. So it's still downtrending until this gets a trend reversal on the daily. Then it could easily continue to sell off. It's got to break up over that downtrend. But with it being under the 200 day and the 50 day, you guys know I do not like these. I do not like to trade them as something to be worrisome about because there is a lot of range from the current price up to the next resistance. But when they're like this, you just don't know if they do get a pop, if it's going to be a quick pop and probably pull back, or what will happen, because they usually are a lot more unpredictable. I would still say keep an eye on CALT today, as it does have that good PR of FDA approval, and see, because if it keeps dropping, if it drops back down to 20 or 19, I could see a lot of people wanting to come in there for an FDA approval. For some reason, they don't like it up here at this 25 area, but maybe there's been a bunch of holders who are dropping it at the moment. They could have been buy the high or buy the rumor, sell the news types of traders, where they've been watching this close and knew that it was going to have some type of FDA approval of some sort supposedly coming out, so they loaded on it beforehand, and then when it had the big spike, they're dumping and still dumping until they get out of it. So that could be what's going on with it. That's what I always say, though. Like, just because something has FDA approval or good earnings, until you see how the actual market's going to react to it, you don't know what's going to happen. The market might react weird. They do that a lot. ADGI. Well, Larry Lee is on fire calling these stocks. Let's see what's going on with ADGI. Now this is popping up on my scanners. Wow. Yeah, that's a good move so far. We don't have any news. It's another one that's way down low, below all the EMAs. Don't do that. Come on. Is that? Oh, that can't be all the chart. Hold on a second. There we go. So this is the same thing, hitting a new low here, getting a bounce up. But right there, was that 1050? It's getting halted at the possible break of the gap to fill the gap. But the gap is up to about what, 17? So you do have about $6 or $7 possibly that they could run through. 111 million shares with no PR. I think we're just seeing a buy off of these lows. And I don't know if that can continue to move up or not, just because of it hitting new lows. It got killed because of bad news. Yeah, I mean it's getting a dead cat bounce today. This is a nice bounce getting halted. I'm just saying I don't like. Is this a chat room of traders who saw ADGI hit a low a year and it was low, kind of low float, and they were like, hey, we can pump this up, or is this buyers of who are investors of the company, people who are all the time adding to their positions? Is this them averaging down? Because if it's not a following for that company, if it's not people who are trying to hold the stock long term, and this is just a pop from some chat group, then it can come back down pretty easily and pretty fast. But we don't know that. But we do know on the daily chart it is very bearish. It is below all EMAs, it is below all the previous support lines that exist. So being down here, that's pretty bearish. Even the 10-day is, yeah, right here, even the 10-day is pointing down. It's got a nice range though. The range is big enough where you can play it for bounces off of support. Like if it does come back down, maybe this 850 can hold, or 8. Let's see, is that 8 right there? No, about 775. Maybe that support could hold. Several different possibilities. Snacks. Snacks getting pushed back up to the trend line. Still got to break that if it's going to move. It's like ADGI just got halted, unhalted. Yeah, and it didn't even gap up in it all. It unhalted right at the same place that halted at. You can see on the level 2, $10 is trying to hold as support. See, buyers trying to come in over that price. Real quick, guys, I'm going to take a couple minute break here while nothing's really going on besides, well, I mean, this is probably going to pull back the way it's looking. It may or may not, but it definitely looks like it's having some issues. I'm going to take a couple minute break. I'll be right back. If you guys have any questions, anything, make sure you go ahead and get those in. All right. So looks like ADG did it not? No, it didn't pop up anymore. Oh yeah, it did pop up some more. It went up to 1131, but pulling back from there. Huh. Yeah, it's just a dead cat bounce. That's all this is. Whoa, but it's running into strong resistance right there at 1050 because it tried to hold support at 1050 there and it couldn't. So now that old support is acting as new resistance. So it's got to break that to be able to fill the gap. CALT is still just going down. It's just what kind of market we're in. FDA approval not seeming to matter too much. Of course, not really anything seems to matter too much. See CLWT pushing up to 4. It's just kind of been like whatever everybody hops on seems like what is going to be a runner for that day. Oh yeah, the SPY's back down to yeah, you can see the SPY even trying to rebound off of this dip and wicking out. Yeah, see the selling pressure. SPY's probably about to drop some more. Now, I was talking about this. I don't know if I said it yesterday in the live stream, either live stream I did on this channel. But I was talking about on the crypto channel how I was concerned about the big rebound in the crypto market being a knee-jerk reaction to the Fed news. And it's kind of what it looks like is actually happening with the stock market itself. Had a knee-jerk reaction to the Fed's not raising interest rates right now. And got this pop up. But the way it's selling off today is looking like buyers got overexcited. And then today it's like almost like the reality set in some, and they're like, you know what? Jerome Powell just said a bunch of nonsense. Maybe we should take a day to think about this. Yeah, AT&T starting to pull back too. Let me check the indexes and futures. Why does that do that? I don't know, but let's see. Let's pull up TradingView here. Let's see if the dollar is strengthening after that news yesterday. I imagine the dollar must be strengthening. No, actually the dollar is pulling back, so it did get rejected here. Yeah, gold with a nice rebound. Silver, both of them coming back up pretty quickly. And probably oil too. Yep, oil as well. So that dollar strengthening of money coming out of the markets is showing real clear that it wasn't that people were trying to hold the dollar because they think the dollar's fine. They just went back into the dollar because they were worried about the stock market and cryptos crashing more. And this was an artificial strengthening of the dollar. There's no reason for the dollar to be strengthening. So we are getting rebounds across all assets, including the real estate market, which is really looking like that's about to push. We're gonna, whew, interesting. So the way real estate looks on this fund looks like we may have housing prices increasing real soon, which makes perfect sense because inflation is getting out of control. So more inflation, the more dollars it's going to take to buy a house. And that is clearly showing on the charts. Even Ethereum back above 4,000. And then, yeah, you can see on the Forex where the US dollar is weakening against everything except for the ruble, the old Russian ruble. Well, Daniel B, that's because crypto is not a thing that can move by itself, just like the stock market can't move by itself. It takes people, it takes volume, and if people are scared to invest because the market is turning red, they like I've been saying this for a year since I started getting into cryptos that it doesn't make sense for people in the cryptocurrency market to follow what the stock market does because they are two separate, totally different things, but they're still assets. And because cryptos are assets, most of the big money is going to look at it that way, as what I was just talking about. Is the dollar strengthening or is this dollar weakening? If the dollar is weakening, they're going to be putting their money in something other than the dollar. But everybody's, getting sketchier and sketchier on the stock market because it's at these all-time inflated highs. So why would you put your money in the dollar or in the stock market? So that only leaves commodities like oil, rice, corn, whatever else, and then gold, silver, and cryptos. But if a bunch of people are scared that the stock market's going to drop and the economy is going to collapse, and they don't understand crypto, they don't understand blockchain projects, which there's a lot of people who don't, because we only have a small amount of the global population who's adopted it, then they're going to freak out the same way they do in the stock market. It's just people's reaction. It's human nature. It doesn't matter the asset. You're going to have these knee-jerk reactions across all markets. I mean, it happens all the time. Just like when Elon Musk tweets about Dogecoin or something. Dogecoin shoots up. And, of course, Tesla stock gets some attention because they're thinking, people are like, is Tesla going to set Dogecoin? That could be big for the future of cryptos. But, Elon then turns around, tweets, says it's not going to be a payment, then comes back out again, tweets again here recently that Dogecoin is going to be an accepted payment. So, Daniel B., you know what it is. It's people. That's why I say we're not when we're day trading and even anything else, even long-term trading or anything, you're not trading a stock or a piece of gold. You're trading people's reactions and the prices that they are willing to buy and sell for that piece of asset, whatever it is. No. And see, Daniel B, not every single not every single black blockchain and cryptocurrency has mining. That's only the proof of work chains that have mining. Proof of stake, you don't have mining whatsoever. It's just staking that secures the nodes. So there's not a what you're trying the way that crypto can be used to alter it to fiat currency is the way that it's being used right now at this moment by anybody who's using it as a currency. I mean, you can go and buy and sell things in cryptocurrencies on plenty of different websites, and that's including NFTs and other stuff like that you can buy and sell. So the difference is the US dollar is backed by the government's word of the US, where some crypto projects are backed by the technology behind them. There's a big difference being backed by a technology that is disrupting every single sector versus being 100-year-old fiat currency that's coming to the traditional historical life cycle of a fiat currency, where it's almost to that mark where fiat currencies always just crumble. So it's the stock is what do you mean? I just told you the crypto is backed by the technology. The stock is what do you mean a stock is a piece of an asset? The stock is the asset. Just you're taking like one little single word and trying to have an argument. It's not only the smart contract capability. That's just one capability. There's multiple. The whole purpose of blockchain technology is to move data faster, more secure, and without having carbon footprints and tons of huge computers. That's what we've had to have is huge hardware to move the massive amounts of data. Just think about your cell phone of how much data comes in and out of your cell phone every day. You're one person. Now add up that for everybody in the entire world who's using cell phones. It takes a lot of power, a lot of data storage to hold that. Blockchain remedies all of that because the data storage is not in hardware, it is in the cloud of the blocks. But the blocks are secured by the nodes around the world, so you have security. You have to get over 50% of the nodes to be able to do anything. So nobody can even monopolize a coin that's set up like that. Now, is there crypto projects that are scams and try to be monopolies and stuff? Of course there are, just like there's stocks in any other company. It's no different. Just because the word is crypto doesn't mean it's any different. It's still an asset. It's still a company. It's just not some of them are not centralized companies. They're not, some are ran by CEOs and some are ran by community voting proposals and governance. So it's just a different way to look at a company. It's a different setup. The idea of the projects are the same as a company. There's a reason, there's a issue that needs to be fixed. That's the whole purpose of free market, is when an issue arises, the entrepreneurs come in and fix it, and they're incentivized to fix issues with profit. So if you want to call it a crypto, if you want to call it a shipto, whatever you want to call it, or a stock or whatever, it doesn't matter about what the name is. It's how the people who are trading it react to it. Yeah. Yeah, Ethereum blockchain hosts a lot of games. It hosts a Immutable X platform which has Gods Unchained and a ton of other games on top of it. But when you buy, just like when you buy a stock, Daniel B, you're buying the stock because you're buying into that company. If you're buying it long term, you're buying into that company because you're going to get dividend payments, or you're going to get a chance later on to sell it to somebody else at a lot higher of a price. It's the same thing with cryptos. You're buying a crypto because you're either going to get a staking reward or maybe a liquidity pool reward, which is basically a dividend in a way. Not technically, and not all the details behind it are exact, but it's a similar premise. You're getting incentivized to hold the crypto. So you're either buying the crypto to be incentivized over the long term, or you're buying it to sell to somebody later for a higher price. Same thing with gold, same thing with silver. It's anything that's tradable. You could do the same thing applies even if you're a classic car collector. You know, if you're buying a 1950s Mustang, that's a classic Mustang, and it's got all the bells and whistles, and it's been taken care of. It's spotless. After 70 years, you've got that classic of a car. You bought that car because you knew it was probably going to go up in value. Of course, you wanted to drive it and all that, but collectors of classic cars are buying them because they know they're going to get expensiver as we get farther away from them. It's like a dinosaur bone. If you find a dinosaur bone, there's not a lot of dinosaur bones out there. So you probably get a pretty penny if you find a T-Rex pinky, right? So a 1950s Mustang 80 years ago is definitely going to be worth more now because it is a classic collectible car. Somebody's willing to pay for that. And 100 more years from now, if there is a 1950s Mustang still running, it will probably be worth millions of dollars. So, it'd be like a T-Rex pinky toe. Yeah, it would be stupid to trade your cryptos to just go hold the US dollar. That would be stupid, but you move money around. I mean, if I'm not moving the whole time this last pullback in the crypto market, I didn't touch anything in my Kepler wallet. That whole Kepler, I don't give a shit what Atom and all those Kepler coins or Cosmos coins are doing in my Kepler lot in March or in November. That's a cash flowing asset that I'm building. So it's going to keep adding to itself anyway. It's compounding interest off of the staking rewards. So it doesn't matter what the price is on the chart for last week to me. I don't care. The whole point of that asset is to keep it growing because I do not like the fiat US dollar. I'm not going to keep my money in a savings account. So to answer your question that you're trying to catch me in, I don't have a savings account or a 401k, Daniel B. But I do have a Kepler wallet full of Cosmos ecosystem coins. And then I do have other investments besides that. So yeah, the only reason people go back to the dollar is so they can move the value from something else to something else. Nobody goes back. That's what I was just saying. Like you're asking a question that I've already answered earlier, and I've answered this like 5,000 times every time you've been in this chat. So it's the same. It's the same thing. The well, that's the thing. That's exactly One Life. Exactly. It's not even that. It's not that he's looking at crypto as a currency rather than a commodity. He is either doesn't know the difference between currency and value, he doesn't understand it, which would be is kind of wild for him to be a trader as long as he has been and doesn't know that difference, or he's purposely being dumb to try to catch me up in some type of argument. And it must be butthurt still from yesterday. Daniel B. In the end, the entire world is a speculator's game. So what is your point? See, I called it out as you were answering me. I knew it. I knew that you were trying to catch me up because you're salty that I smoked One Life yesterday on that live stream. No offense, One Life, but you got smoked. Just live with it. It's okay. And so you wanted to come in here and try to start smoke with me this morning, Daniel B. But no, man, come on. If you're going to make the claim that cryptos are a speculation game because of what we just talked about, then you have to make the same claim for every single asset there ever is. Everything I just compared it to is all the assets. So that means everything's a speculator game. So what's your point? What is the point behind you even making that statement? It doesn't matter. You either make money or you don't. It's all speculation. Are you a fortune teller? Do you have a crystal ball, Daniel B, for your stock trading? Because I don't. If you got a crystal ball, you can share it with the whole community. I'm sure everybody else in the Framework Fortune community would like to see your crystal ball. Everybody want to hit that like button if you want to see Daniel B's future-telling stock crystal ball that he apparently has, since he thinks that cryptos are a speculator's game and nothing else is. So, once again, Daniel B., your attempts at trying to argue with me about cryptos have been futile. Here's the thing, Daniel B. This is the final time I'm going to say this. Go do the research. Half the questions you're asking are dumb because you don't even know what you're talking about. Go do the research and stop assuming and comparing it to tulip bulbs. If you really want to have a true debate with me about cryptos, their value, and versus fiat currency and all that, you got to do the research. If not, I'm talking to a wall having to teach you everything about crypto, and then you're going to argue with me about whether that's legit or not. Like, if you don't know what you're talking about, then there's no possible way to have an honest debate or discussion. So you right now you're doing nothing but wasting. Well, people who don't know much about cryptos learned a lot here today. The ones who are actually not too stubborn, they could sit there and listen and learn some stuff. You, on the other hand, refuse. The stuff I've said today is the same thing I've said 1,000 times this year. It's not any different. My argument has not changed against your argument. Your argument changes every single time with different things you try to throw in. Mine is still a wall. So that's because you are coming at a wall shooting or throwing snapping pops at it. Those little fireworks that just go choo, choo. You're throwing little snapping pops at a brick wall because you have no idea what you're talking about. Do the research. Actually sit down, spend 4 hours, research cryptocurrencies, the blockchain technology, everything behind it, and the idea of building a digital ecosystem, a digital economy outside of the economies that we are born into, that we live in. Once you've done that research, I will happily have this debate with you and have an actual, real, true, honest debate. But until then, it's not an honest, true debate because you have no idea what you're talking about, man. That's just what it is. Like, if you want to get on the live, I've offered for you to get on the live stream, but if you get on the live stream with what you're bringing at me right now, you're going to get smoked. You're going to look stupid. I mean, that's just what it is because you're going to have no idea what I'm talking about. So there's no, like, you're barking up a tree that's only going to make you fall and break your arm. Daniel B., see, again, what you know, we are calculating currency value on country GDP. No, that's not true at all. If that was the case, our GDP has been terrible. So the US dollar would already be terrible. So that's not even accurate. Whatever you're trying to say right now, it's not accurate. Period. I'm not saying you're okay. So I'm not saying you're stupid as a trader. What I'm saying is you're stupid for coming at me without doing your research. And no, you haven't done your research because the questions you're asking me about cryptos are base level questions. If you've done any research, you wouldn't even ask these questions. So go do the research for the final time. Do the research. Then we can have a real debate about it. Until then, you're just blowing smoke. So calm it down. You're the only person in the world right now who has such a hang up on cryptos. Even Peter Schiff, who doesn't like cryptos, takes cryptos on his gold and silver exchange. So you're going to be the only person in the world still sitting there when everybody's paying in cryptos trying to use a US dollar that ain't worth anything. And restaurants and businesses are going to be like, nah, man, we take Bitcoin. We don't accept that piece of trash paper. That's what it's going to go to. And you're still going to be sitting there and you're going to be like, oh, what's going on? Why can't I buy my McChicken? Because you didn't do any research. You thought that I'm crazy. Which is fine. I am crazy, but go do your research. Don't just assume off of stuff that I'm saying. That's why I want everybody to do research when I say things. I don't want y'all to believe what I'm saying. I want you to take what I'm saying and go find out more about that topic, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and, I'm not a school teacher. I'm not going to sit here and go back through every single thing there is to prove every single little thing that I say. That's not what I'm here for. What I do is point to things and that you may not realize, and for you to go research yourself and make your own decisions. So do the research, then we can talk. Hello, Legacy Landia. Welcome to Framework Fortune. No, Daniel B. No. It doesn't work that way. One Life and me had the debate yesterday. We already had our debate. So you don't get to have. Why do you need One Life to hold your hand for? Why can't you come on by yourself? I 2 days ago I told you to come on the live stream and debate me right here. You want to do it today? We can do it today. You want to do it right now? I'm not trading anymore. I'm out of funds. You want to have this debate right now? Let's do it. What are you waiting for? I don't got to put a name on the series and call it a round table and do all that stuff to get you on here to smoke you. We can do it right now live, baby, anytime you want, like I've told you before. Don't try to come at me with the smoke unless you're ready for the smoke. So screw the round table. You want to do it, Daniel B. This is the last opportunity I'm going to give you because this is like the 5th or 6th opportunity I've gave you to back your shit up live on camera. And every time you go back to your little doggy house and hide for a few days and then come out again to start your little nonsense. So if you want to do it here, now, right now, live, I'll give you 5 minutes to prepare yourself. And you show up, you show up. You don't show up, you don't show up. But yeah, you don't want to do the research, you want this smoke, I'll give it to you. I don't know why you think I'm going to back down at any point in time. I've been backed down from anybody, so you're not any different, buddy. Go get your little notebook. Go get your goggles on. All of that. You wanna have this debate? Let's do it right now. You don't need One Life. You're an adult. You're 50 years old. What the hell do you need One Life for? The PTPI in a nice little triangle, slowly moving. Vax art? What is Vax art? Do you have a ticker symbol for that, Zachariah? And do you have anything to like back up that it will 10x? Kind of hard to, you didn't give me much to work with there. All right. Real quick, let's see. Let's run over the SPY. Yep, SPY still hanging at 470. Snacks finally cracking. CLT dumping off. PTPI looks like it could be a possible play. BFRI is done. ADGI still climbing. So very nice dead cat bounce there if you did catch it. But that is pretty much it. PTPI and ADGI at the moment making any type of possible moves. Oh, VXRT. All right, I'm going to pull VXRT up. And then I'm going to take a quick little break. And when I come back, Daniel B., you better be ready. All this trash talk and all this nonsense that you've been on. The time to roost is now, sir. The time is roost now. So you got 5 minutes, 4 minutes, and I'll be right back. You can do it maybe in 20, 30 minutes. Uh-huh. That's convenient. I'll be right back. All right. Let's see. Mike's got the popcorn ready. AQTS is about to rip like LGVN. It's got, I mean, AQST has the potential, but like I've been saying, I mean, it looks good on the daily chart. Bullish at the moment. It did get a little bearish there, pulling back, but bounced off the 200, and then confirmed that 200 again as support, bouncing again. Now that it's over 5, it should try to hold 5. But the volume on it is very low today still. So, I mean, there's buying volume coming in. Like I said, actually, this is the perfect example. CALT. They have FDA approval. They got it today. Now, this stock gapped up, had a little pop yesterday and gapped up. But on the day of the FDA approval, it's been selling off since it popped up. So if you wasn't in beforehand, you wouldn't have got this pop. But at the same time, it may have not even did this. It could have. I've seen before see a pop in after hours and then it just crash out the next day. So it hasn't completely crashed out, but that's the same thing that could happen with AQST. It happens all the time. You see companies that get multiple FDA approvals, and sometimes they don't even move at all. Sometimes they'll crash, and then sometimes I have a move like this, where they have a quick gap up or whatever, and then just sell off. So it's like there's no way to tell, because it could either be a buy the hype, which right now there's a lot of hype because a lot of people have been asking about AQST and for me to keep updating on it, and we're seeing the hype that's coming in already. So is the FDA approvals already priced in? I'm looking at KLT, but is the FDA approvals already priced in this rip here, or even this rip? You know, that's the thing. Like, you don't know. So, like, I'm not knocking AQST or anything. All I'm saying is, to me, it's a lot better to wait to see how the market reacts than getting in beforehand and holding till the day of FDA approval, because it's still very risky. Same thing with earnings. We see great earnings all the time, and companies will dump for no reason. I can take a look at Pfizer. What is their damn ticker symbol? I'm blanking out. What is Pfizer's ticker symbol? Let me Google it real quick. Donnell, nice. Hey, if you got a gain today, good job, buddy. This is small, big, whatever it is. Any type of gain in a market like we're in right now is a good gain. Like I said, I'm red on the week. I'm down $150 now this week. But I'm not too concerned about it, so I can make that back in one trade. I just gotta trade more cautiously with this market. I was really expecting, as much as I'm bearish on the stock market, I was kind of expecting it to continue to push today. I thought we would see the SPY break over 475 during market hours, but it seems to be the knee-jerk reaction with a pullback. Oh, PFE, that's what it is. Okay. Yeah, it's PFE. I looked it up too. So Pfizer's just going up. I mean, here's the thing with Pfizer. All right. Pfizer is making all the money. Well, not all the money. Moderna is making some of the money. But basically, Pfizer is making all of the money off of the vaccines. Right? If you go and watch CNN or CNBC or any of those mainstream media channels, you will see every once in a while this is sponsored by Pfizer. So the mainstream media has Pfizer's back. The government has Pfizer's back because the government's the one who are paying for the vaccines, which is actually, it's going to cost us because governments don't make money. They only take money, but they're paying for it. So, I mean, you gotta imagine that those media companies are invested in Pfizer along with all the politicians who are pushing when there's competition. Well, who was it? Ruben, you were saying yesterday. I don't know if Ruben's in here. He was saying yesterday something about they were giving out something free for booster shots, and like the vaccine has been probably one of the best marketing campaigns. Well, just the vaccine and the bug have been one of the best marketing campaigns from a drug company probably ever. They sold the whole entire world that this was going to be a major, huge pandemic and that the only thing that could save the entire world was Pfizer's drug. And that made all the governments want to buy it. So their marketing team is incredible, for sure. But with all that behind them, backing them, who knows how high Pfizer could go. It's definitely in the basket of corruptness of corrupt companies that can be manipulated. And since they seem to be very friendly with the government and all of that, they have a very big advantage over other companies. So, I mean, it's jumping up today. I'm not sure why. Like, I don't pay attention to Pfizer just because, like I said, I know about what everything. See right here. Let's read this. Let's read what they just sent out. This is from Pfizer. This is what you should know about treating COVID-19. And it looks like it is maybe from Pfizer themselves. Dow Jones. Okay. This is going to be great. We're going to learn a lot here, guys. Let's read this. Within the first few weeks, U.S. could have access to the first antiviral pills to treat COVID-19, either from Pfizer Inc. or Merck & Co. and partner Ridgeback Biotherapeutics. Merck Ridgeback drug molnupiravir received a positive recommendation on November 30th from a panel of experts. Whoa, hold on now. Who is this panel of 30 experts that is advising the Food and Drug Administration? If the FDA is the top of the ladder, then why the hell do they need a random panel of 30 experts? They're supposed to be the experts. Now, anyway, the pill had been found in a late stage study to cut risk of hospitalization or death by about 30% in high-risk people with mild to moderate COVID-19. The UK cleared the drug early in November. And it comes on the heels of the new variant emerging, the Omicron variant. They confirmed the first case in California. The threat, now listen to this, the threat, look at this wording, of the possibly, no type of assurance whatsoever, possibly, more transmissible variant has led to the FDA authorizing COVID-19 boosters from Pfizer. What I say? The government saying, "Hey, Pfizer, you can use the boosters, you can put them out, and we'll pay for them for use in 16 and 17-year-olds with the CDC following suit with its own endorsement." Why is the CDC endorsing a drug? That do they like? I'm curious. Does the CDC also endorse Tylenol or Midol? Women in the chat, let me know if you know that. On your Midol bottles, does it say CDC endorsed? Public health experts say the best preventative measures. Okay, once again, who is the public health experts? I'd like to know whose names they're. Who are they talking about? Say the best preventative measure to decrease the likelihood of contracting COVID-19 is to get vaccinated. Then the CDC has recommended that everyone 18 and older get an additional shot. So that's another shot that somebody has to pay for from Pfizer after completing the primary series, as well as 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds who receive 2 doses, which is 2 doses is going to cost more than 1 dose. Let's see, nearly 2 years into the pandemic, doctors have few effective treatments for patients. See, here's what public health and infectious disease experts say about how to treat it. I've contracted COVID-19. What should I do? How can I treat mild symptoms from home? Drink some water and sleep? Monitor symptoms to determine whether infected people could be considered low or high risk for developing serious disease. Individuals who typically consider to be at low risk for severe disease include people who are young and healthy. So they want 18-year-olds and 16 and 17-year-olds to take the boosters even though they don't need to. That's what they're saying right there. All right, so we need to make Pfizer more money, even though you don't need to take that drug. We need to do it because it makes Pfizer more money, right? Which we know a lot of this stuff already. Yeah, and see right here. Are there any drugs approved or authorized for administration at home or in clinics? There are no authorized treatments that people can take at home. Although antiviral pills from Merck and Pfizer could be dispensed by pharmacies for use at home under review by U.S. health regulators. Lilly's antibody drug was cleared for emergency use in children under the age of 12. So they declared emergency use for use on children when they said that children are low risk. So that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. EVU Shield, a preventative antibody cocktail. Who wants to line up and take AstraZeneca's cocktail? But the whole thing, and I don't even got to read the rest of this. I'm just scrolling through. I keep seeing American Ridgeback, Pfizer, American Ridgeback, Pfizer, American Ridgeback, Pfizer. The U.S. Now here we go. Bottom sentence. Here it is. Well, let me read this paragraph first. A lot of excitement Okay, and what are we excited about? We're excited about potential for oral antivirals that would simplify dosing so people could do this at their own home. They would open up opportunity for treatment of mild disease. If it's mild, then why do you need. Okay. But then right here, the bottom line. What's the bottom line? The U.S. has purchased 10 million courses of treatment of Pfizer's pill and about. So it's not even approved yet. We're not even approved. They said possibly, potentially, maybe a lot of that stuff. But the U.S. has already bought 2.1 million courses before approval. So either the government is stupid as shit, which there's an argument for, because they bought drugs that could possibly get not approved. That'd be a waste of money, right? What are they going to do with the drugs if they don't get approved? Or this is all one big marketing money scheme by Pfizer. Like I said, because they have the best marketing team ever created. And they already bought 2.1 million courses of Merrick Ridgeback pill as well. The supply is expected to be limited initially, limited supply. What do we know about limited supply and high demand? That means high prices. So if you want to get the pill originally, you got to pay, or early or whatever, you got to pay the big bucks. You got to pay, because that low supply, that limited supply with high demand, everybody's scared out of their mind wanting to take the COVID pill or whatever. Going to be paying that premium as the company increases manufacturing. So don't worry. Pfizer's got you. Merrick's got you. They got the pills ready. You're gonna have to, you're gonna have to pay a little higher price for those from the pharmacy, probably with your insurance. Maybe your insurance gets you a better deal. From what I've found out lately with my prescriptions on a lot of things, it's actually cheaper for me not to use my insurance, which doesn't make any sense, but. Yeah, this is incredible. This is incredible. And there's more on this. I don't want to read anymore. I'm so disgusted by this. But basically, what could Pfizer do? Who knows? They have the government backing them. I mean, the government, the people approving the drug have already bought the drug. So, oh, free joints for a booster? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Hi, bye, Lauren. Have fun. The COVID shots are free to. I mean, they're free, but nothing's free. The government paid for them. That's exactly what I was pointing out in that last sentence. Is that the U.S. government, they bought tons of Pfizer shots when Trump was in office before the Pfizer shot was ever originally approved. Um, the Pfizer shot, they bought a bunch of them. Same way they bought a bunch of the pill already because they are the FDA. I mean, the FDA is part of the government. So the other part of the whatever department of the government who gets to decide on buying drugs to give everybody, I guess. I don't know what department that is, but yeah, I mean, it's all clear as day manipulation to make tons of money off of. Well, I mean, the chart's bullish. That's the thing. Like, it's a bullish chart. It's above all EMAs. It's spiking right now, but it's spiking because they're getting more money. They're getting more money from the government. Because again, like I said, why their words are, people young and healthy have no issues, but they should still get the booster and the pill. So, like, why? So you can sell more. That's why. I mean, it's as simple as that. They're going to make a ton of, well, they're already making a ton of money. So, I mean, I don't know how high Pfizer could go, really, to be honest, because again, like, they've got the government backing them, they've got all the mainstream media backing them, and then not only that, the Federal Reserve, you heard Jerome Powell saying that we're concerned the pandemic's going to cause more inflation pressures and all of that. And like I've said before, COVID hasn't done anything but make people sick. The lockdowns were enforced by governments. COVID didn't come in and say everybody stay in your house. That was a choice that people in power made for everybody else. Same thing, with everything else. Like, COVID didn't come in and pop the stock market bubble or pop the fiat currency bubble. Locking down the country, on the other hand, when we already had problems in the economy and with the currency, yeah, that's going to cause some bad effects. But that's not COVID that did that. COVID does not control the money printer. Jerome Powell does. So they continue to use it as their bad guy. They vilified it. It's the bad guy. Now we got to spend all the money and give it to Pfizer to help protect us from the big bad guy. It's similar. It's a similar process to when we went to Afghanistan. It's like, oh, Afghanistan is full of terrorists. We got to go over there and clean them out. And then what did we end up doing? We went over there and took all their oil. This is what the U.S. government has done time and again throughout history. They constantly say something like, "Oh, we gotta go take care of this," and then there's always something behind it. We find out later. So, with that much manipulation in the stock, I don't know. I just don't know what to tell you because I have no idea. Whatever price they want this to go to is what it's going to go to. That's just the truth. If they wanted to go to 200, it'll go to 200. If they just wanted it to go to 60, 50 so they could get everybody in and get everybody hyped so they could dump it on them, that's what they're going to do. And unless you know what this whole big pharma government media collaboration is working on, unless you are in the inside and you know what price they're going to take it to or drop it to, you're not going to know. So that's why I just don't mess with it. That's why I have not messed with any of these companies. Last year, beginning of the pandemic, March, when the stock market started crashing, we were trading companies that were penny stocks that were just coming out with PR about vaccines and masks and all of that stuff. And there was a lot of money to be made because every single one of those companies was popping. Like, as retail traders, we made money off of the pandemic last year. So if we made money, just imagine how much money Pfizer's making. Yeah, there's been a lot of people. Well, another thing too is if you want to go by the publicized mainstream media death rates and all of that, the biggest thing, and they constantly say it, is the people who are affected the most by the death rate. it is the people who are most susceptible, who are unhealthy, out of shape, overweight. But guess what? That's 80% of America. 80% of America is out of shape and overweight. A couple of months ago, I saw on a magazine cover that had a pretty hefty sized woman on it and said, "This is beautiful." And I just looked at that and I was like, no, this is borderline diabetes and heart attack. You know, I've had people in my family who've died from cancer and diabetes, different things like that, who were unhealthy and overweight. That's just what comes along with it. Obesity is a actual issue that you have to deal with, or it will kill you. You know, our bodies are not made to take in all of the nonsense that we eat now in the first place, with all the chemical grown, lab grown stuff like that. So when 80% of a whole population is the most likely to get exposed and have a death rate, then yeah, your death rate's going to be a lot higher. But is that because the virus is that bad, or is it because your country needs to be a lot more healthier? And that's a question nobody wants to talk about. So that's been ignored completely. No, I think Daniel B was calling me fat. I think that's what he was trying to call me. Yes, I am unhealthy and out of shape. I will admit that. You know, I sit at this chair a lot. And I like food. All right, and I happen to be in the state that has some of the best foods of all different cultures around me. So it's really hard not to be a little overweight in Wisconsin. I got a treadmill. You should see the amount of dust that's sitting on it, but I got one. Excuse me, but no, I just need to work out. I need to set the time aside. I'm not that big. I'm a small person as it is. I'm not that tall either. So any extra weight I gain, I look fat right away just because I'm short. Yeah, no problem, Manuel C. You know, I wish I could give you something more on Pfizer and even um, Merrick and anti, or what is it, and AstraZeneca and the other one, whatever. But like I said, there's just too much politics and things like that involved with those stocks to, like, anybody trying to make a prediction on those stocks, they either have to be on the inside and know what's going to happen, or they just are guessing, because I honestly have no idea. I don't know what their ultimate goal is by getting everybody to take their pill. I mean, of course they want to make money, but you got to ask the question, the way they're pushing us so hard, is there more to it than just the money? Because, like, there's a lot of different ways that pharmacies or big pharma companies make money. It's not like Pfizer was a penny stock company. See, let's look on that. Yeah, so, wait, hold on a minute. What am I looking? Let me go back to Pfizer. PFE. Yeah, see, Pfizer's been around paying out dividends since 2007. So Pfizer's been making plenty of money, but this looks like the first time that they've ever broke over these new highs. It's almost like, it's almost like this was all planned. Pfizer breaking out. FDA, before the FDA approval of their pill. What is this right here? 2020. Let's see. Yeah, so this is 2021 where they've been down. Let's see, I'm on a daily. Let me go back to that week chart. Yeah, see, look at this. They were steadily growing. And then whatever happened here, this was 2019, about March, that Pfizer started dropping. So I wonder if I can go back and see PR back till then. No, I can't. So I'm curious to what happened right through here. Yeah, because COVID didn't start till in this dip. So before COVID even happened, almost exactly a year before, something happened with Pfizer that made their stock start dropping. And then we get COVID, and Pfizer's first in line with the vaccine. So instead of dropping like it was going to, it did. I mean, it did drop towards for the COVID dip, but instead of continuing to drop, it's hitting all new highs. So that's kind of weird. That's kind of coincidental. That exactly a year before, when the year before the pandemic started, Pfizer had something going on that crashed their stock down, because that drop was from $40 down to 32. That was most of the gains Pfizer had gained since 2017 into 2019. So 2 years of gains were wiped away at this point. And then a year later, COVID happens, and now Pfizer's at 60.51 as a high. I don't know. Oh, there you go, One Life. He looks like a sugar Barbie. Orlando CMP Ascending Triangle breakout. Let's take a look at it. I see what you're saying on the daily. It is above the EMAs, so see, what exactly are you looking at on this triangle? Is this what you're looking at right here? Is the triangle? Yeah, that's got to be it. I'm guessing that's what you're looking at. It seems to be what it's got to be. But yeah, breaking up out of there on the daily. Center Point Energy. This is the energy company. And they've been paying out dividends consistently since 2007, though. But that's why you're getting some hype back in this. They are continuing to pay their dividends. Looks like they paid their dividends even during the COVID dip. Yeah, they did. Before the COVID dip, they were paying out, looks like 28 cents, and then they dropped it to 15 cents. But now they're starting to climb back up with their dividend. So dividend investors are seeing that and like, oh, I want to get back in this thing while the dividend is starting to grow again, and start accumulating shares. But that is a good wedge there, good breakout on the daily. Oh, the weekly. Oh, yeah, I am in the weekly. You're right, Orlando. Thank you. There you go. Oh, I see what you were looking at. That was a big wedge back there. But now I see what you're looking at. You're looking at this little triangle right here. Yeah. Yeah, I got you, Orlando. Yep, that's a good breakout. It's slow moving, but if you're swing trading, which I think you've been saying you've been doing more swing trading, this is a great swing trade. If you got it, down to like 27.50 or whatever, it's up 28.30, and you're getting about $1 so far, a profit out of it possibly. And it did just hit a new high a year. See, is that the all-time high? No, all-time high is 31.65. And 31 is a lot of resistance. So you may have room up to 30. Maybe 31, possibly. All right, Manuel. Have a great day, buddy. Appreciate you joining us. No, I haven't traded ADGI Simple Life. Is that who is Simple Life? Are you somebody new to the channel, or is this One Life trolling or Daniel B trolling? No, Daniel B's in here. Daniel B just talking about Burger King. Okay, Simple Life must. Okay, sorry, Simple Life. I thought maybe you were one of my very special trolls who loves trolling me with different nicknamed accounts. Now, I was watching ADGI. Well, actually, I think Lori called it out. Somebody called it out because I wasn't watching it in the beginning because it didn't show up on my scanners. See, it's still not on my scanners, and the reason why is because it's below the 200-day moving average on my scanners, below all EMAs. So it's gotten a pop, but it's just a dead cat bounce. Because this thing dropped from 31 down to a low of 557. So a $25 drop in only 3 days is too much. That's just too much selling pressure. It was a knee-jerk reaction, overreaction, and now today you're just getting investors coming back in like, oh, this was down. Because a lot of companies have investors who only stick with that company for investing in them. And if that's the case, or maybe they only have 2 or 3 companies in their portfolio, when one of those companies takes a big dip, if it's not them going bankrupt, then those investors are going to come in and start buying. So you see that buying that yesterday it just went sideways. That day it just kind of come down and went sideways. But here little bits of buying was coming in. And about 9 o'clock, the buying started getting a little bigger. Well, once they start getting a little bigger like this, the volume's starting to ramp up. It's going to probably pop up on low float scanners. Well, that's the other reason. This ain't that low float. It's 111 million shares outstanding, so that's another reason why it didn't pop up on my scanner. Because it's a higher flow. I'm actually kind of surprised by this run. With it, well, like I said, the dead cat, it's the pattern. I think traders, not everybody's scanners are the same as mine, so this probably would pop up on most scanners. So we basically are seeing day traders come in and push this up as well at this point. They saw the buying and then it started popping up on their scanners, probably like a volume scanner, and then the traders got a hold of it. So you got them pushing it up. There still may be some shorts in it from this who are covering their positions now because it's coming up. So there's just a lot of mix of buying, of different areas of buying when you get to these types of lows. But these dead cat bounces don't always happen. And more than likely, this won't be a super continuation. Like, I don't think we're going to see this back up to $30 tomorrow or maybe even next week. Like, it may get up to 20, maybe 17. But I highly doubt it's going to go any further than that for a little while. if it can even do that, because again, it is very bearish. It's below all EMAs. That 10-day is pointing straight down at the moment. It's a rare pattern when it works. When you can catch a dead cat bounce like this, it works. It's very profitable. Like I've said before, one of my biggest trades was on a dead cat bounce. But the consistency of trying to catch a dead cat bounce is hard because you never know. I'm sure there's plenty of stocks that are down quite a bit already today. And that's every day. No matter if the market's up or down, there's going to be some stocks that are just down on that day. So there's usually got to be a reason for the dead cat bounce. And the main thing that you want to see is volume increasing. If buying volume's increasing into the rebound off of this all-time low a year, it's like we dropped $25. Could it go down to $1? Maybe, but more likely, since this thing forever has been, well, not forever. Let's see, how long has this been out since? Oh, this is a recent IPO. This IPO'd back in August 2nd. So that actually changes things a little bit, because with IPOs, this company's so new, we don't know exactly why it had that big pullback. What was the bad news? Let's see. When did this drop? This dropped on December 13th. This was only a couple days ago. They got their patent. Just a patent for some type of... So why did it drop down on patent news? $300-fold reduction in neutralizing activity against Omicron. So then why did this drop? Oh, it's less effective. I thought he just said it was more effective. Well, that could be a reason why it dropped so hard, is because either I misunderstood that first press release, or they lied in that first press release, caught everybody in this pump, and then dumped it on them. It was like, ha ha, we actually found out that it wasn't actually very effective. My bad. And they've already locked in all this. Yeah. Oh yeah, right there. Yeah, they plan to pause the recruitment. So that's why it dropped, because they basically seem to have given up on their testing for the patent and whatever for this Omicron, whatever they're trying to do. So then today, why are we moving? Yeah, it's just I mean, if this is not their own, if that COVID drug's not their only drug, if they have other drugs that they're working on, it's not that big of a deal. But if that COVID drug was the main focus of this company, then it may not rebound anymore, because if that was their main focus and they had to pause it, then they're not making any money. Oh yeah, for a day trade, yeah, that's what I'm saying. For a day trade, if you caught it, nice job. It just didn't pop on my scanners in time, and I already had jumped into other stocks and used up my capital and lost a little bit on those two. But it just wasn't on my scanners. I didn't see it until it was too late for me to even mess with it. And even then, probably about 75 to 90% of the time, any stock that's under all the EMAs on the daily chart. So we got the 10-day EMA, the exponential moving average, the 200, and the 50. Anytime they're below all three of these like this, they tend not to have that big of breakouts. Like this one's pushing up just because it has so much room. There's no really resistance, and up till that 1718 or 1792 area right across there. But normally it takes some weeks of building up to the EMAs to see a breakout over them. Just like, what was that Orlando was talking about, that which one was it? Trying to find what ticker symbol was it. Orlando said, I'm looking back, I don't see it. Oh, CMP. Gotcha. So like CMP, you look at this daily chart, when it was below, we look all the way back here at the back, let's swim back here. When it was below these EMAs, after it dropped below them, it didn't immediately come back up and start running. It took 1, 2, 3, 4 days of red days of really nothing going on. And then a 5th day that just kind of popped up and touched the 10-day. Then a 6th day where it was just a little movement. Then a 7th day where it got rejected at the 50. 8th day got rejected at the 50. 9th day got rejected at the 200. 10th day tried to pop over, barely held. And then finally, after about 2 weeks, this thing was able to really start climbing again. So that's what you got to see is you want to see stocks that have built up to the EMAs and then broken over them, not shooting straight up from the bottom like ADGI, where it's still got these way up above here, because like all these are going to be resistance lines. So that's why I'm saying if this is going to continue to rebound, it would take it probably 2 or 3 weeks just to slowly build its way back up to this area for a possible breakout. And even then, it still could not break out, depending on market conditions and any new PR that comes out. All right, guys, so I have went about 30 minutes over. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. We'll be back tomorrow with some more live trading and analysis. Look at the SPY. SPY giving up a lot of gains from yesterday. That 468 is strong support. If 468 drops on the SPY, then we could see it drop all the way back down to where it was, which would not be pretty. Oh yeah, I can show you that real quick. The price balloons is, let's see, what did I trade? CALT, yeah. So go to your settings right here. I think. Let me think. Is it the set? Is that where that's at? I think so. Yeah, right here. No, not that one. show trades. So right here, click on the settings on the chart and then show trades. Make sure it's clicked on. See, if I press apply, the trades are gone. I go back to settings, general, check to show trades, apply. Okay, boom, there they are. Oh, Daniel B., you really waited this long to say anything. You waited almost 45 minutes when I'm ready to end the stream, and now you want me to get on. Yeah, no problem, buddy. Anytime, anytime. Glad you made it to the channel today. And I live stream Monday through Fridays in the mornings, 9 a.m. Central on this channel. And then I live stream Monday through Saturdays, 4:30 a.m. Central on the Framework Fortune Crypto channel. Or not 4:30 a.m. Central, 4:30 p.m. Central, Monday through Saturday on the crypto channel for crypto updates. And I do some other live streams as well. And then if you haven't yet, go and check out frameworkfortune.com. It is free. There is no paywalls. You just have to sign up with your email. And we've got a lot of content things going on there as well. All right. We're going to do it, Daniel B. But we're going to do it on a different stream. I'm going to do it even though I gave you 5 minutes and now you're trying to come back out after an hour of not saying anything and trying to jump on here. But just because you seem to really want this smoke, we're going to do it. But let's see. 15 minutes. See, Lori's not even going to see it because you waited too long, Daniel B. I know I'm on overtime. It's coming out of Daniel B's pockets. He's paying me for this. But yeah, we're going to start a new stream for that because this stream has already went for 2.5 hours. And that way it'll be its own little separate video so people can catch that. Because that one was impromptu, one live yesterday, but you had to go through and watch everything before that happened. So we'll hop back on here. We'll say about 30 minutes, 15 minutes. Because that's about how long it's going to take me to get everything set up. So 15 minutes, be looking for another stream to come out on the channel here, where Daniel B is going to get on camera and going to get barbecued finally in front of everybody. So if you joined us for this stream, appreciate you joining us. Come back in 15-20 minutes here to see Daniel B live on fire, running around, getting completely destroyed. Appreciate everybody joining us for now. We'll be back shortly. Until then.